Good morning. Today we are continuing on Unit 3A. We're working on Mission 2A. I can solve now two-step equations. So we're going to look at first a one-step equation and then move on to a two-step equation. So it says you buy juice for $1 and a package of hot Cheetos. Your total is $4. How much do the Cheetos cost? So we know this juice is $1. Plus, we're buying the Cheetos, which we don't know the price of, but we know they equal a total of $4. In math, instead of just using a question mark, we use a letter to represent the value. So I'm going to use maybe a C for Cheetos or an H for hot Cheetos, whatever you would like. And we need to now solve this. I know some of you could do this in your head, but if we solved it, all we're doing is subtracting 1. If we do it the mathematical way, we have 4 minus 1 gives us 3. So we know that we're spending $3 on the hot Cheetos. Okay, I know some of you can do 1 plus what equals 4 and know it's 3, but showing your work, because when we get to two-step equations, or next year when you get to multi-step equations, it's going to be a lot easier if you show your work. All right, let's take a look at our two-step. It says you buy a pop for $2, so right away I know this is $2. And we're also buying 3 bags of Funyuns. Your total is $11. So we know these two things together equals $11, but we don't know how much the Funyuns are. So that's what we're trying to figure out. How much are the Funyuns? So we know we have 3 bags, but we don't know how much they cost. So if we knew the cost, we could multiply it by 3 to figure out the cost of all of the Funyuns. So I'm going to use 3F, 3 bags of Funyuns. So to solve this, first we can get rid of this $2, subtract that from our total, because we already know we spent $2 on our Coca-Cola. Subtract that from our total. And we now have our 3 bags of Funyuns for $9. Well, now it's a little bit easier. This is just a one-step equation that we know how to solve now. The opposite of multiplying by 3 would be dividing by 3. If we know they cost $9, divide by 3 bags, we know each bag of Funyuns would cost 9 divided by 3, which is $3. If you're not sure, you could plug it back in here. Plug in a 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus this 2 over here, yes, does give us 11. So what we just did here, by getting rid of our adding and subtracting first, actually helped us to figure out what our variable was. So we work away from our letter, get rid of our adding and subtracting first. So here's our steps that we're going to use to solve two-step equations. We're really undoing our order of operations, going backwards here, getting rid of first adding and subtracting, then multiplying and dividing. So I've written that out here in our two steps as well. First, get rid of adding and subtracting, then multiplying or dividing. So let's take a look at this first equation. We want to figure out what x is, right there. So I'm going to put a v on this side. Our variable's over here, so we want all the numbers to end up over here. Remember, we need to do the inverse or the opposite of whatever we see. So first, getting rid of adding or subtracting, to get rid of this plus 4, the opposite would be subtract 4. So those eliminate, and we have 2x equal to, now 12 minus 4, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8 would be our answer there. But we don't have x by itself yet. The opposite of multiplying is dividing, so we're going to divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 is just 1, so we have 1x, or just x. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. Again, if we want to plug it back in and check, our equation said 2 times x, and x was 4, plus 4 equal to 12. Well, 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 4, yes, does give us 12, so we were right. Next, always getting rid of adding or subtracting first. The negative goes with the 6, remember. Opposite of subtracting would be adding 6, so plus 6. 6 minus 6 is just 0, so we have 5x left over. And then we have a negative 21 and a positive 6. Different signs subtract. We know there's more negatives. 21 minus 6, remember, same sign, add and keep. Different sign, subtract. 21 take away 6 will give us a negative 15. And then last, the opposite of multiplying, those are touching, that's multiplied, is divide. So we're going to divide by 5. 5 over 5 is just 1, so 1x. And I know my answer is going to be a negative. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 5 goes into 15 3 times. Again, if you want to plug it in here to check your answer, you can. Let's flip over to the back side. We're following the same steps. We're undoing our order of operations, getting rid of adding and subtracting first, always. So if we read this, we have x divided by 3 minus 7. So that minus or that subtract 7 is our subtraction, so we need to get rid of that first by adding 7. So those eliminate, and we have x divided by 3 equal to now, well, 3 plus 7 is 10, so we have 30. And then last, the opposite of dividing by 3 is multiplying by 3. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. Reminder, this is really just on the top, 3 over 1. So 3 divided by 3 is just 1x, or x. 30 times 3, you guys know 3 times 3 is 9. So 30 times 3 should be 90. Again, if you want to plug it in and double check, is 90 divided by 3 minus 7 going to give us 23? 90 divided by 3 is 30. 30 minus 7, yes, is 23. You can use your calculator to double check if you'd like. This time we have our letter on the right side. So our variables are going to be here and our numbers are all going to end up on the left. So this is where we need to be careful. A lot of people think that this negative goes with the 2. However, the 2, there's nothing in front of it, so we know the 2 is positive. The negative goes with the 4. And that's multiplied by a, so we can't get rid of multiplication until the second step. So first we need to get rid of this adding 2, so we're going to subtract 2. 2 minus 2 eliminates. 8 minus 2 is 6, we have 16. And don't forget the negative, that's a negative 4 multiplied by a. Put the dot there if you need. So we're not adding 4, it says multiply. The opposite of multiply is divide. So we're dividing by negative 4. Dividing by that whole number. So those eliminate. And we have a equal to, it's going to be a negative, happy and grumpy, they don't get along. 4 goes into 16 4 times. So we need our letter by itself. It doesn't matter if it's on the left side, like we had here, or on the right side, as long as it's by itself. Alright, last couple problems. Solving our equation. We need our variables on the left and our numbers on the right for this one. Getting rid of adding and subtracting first. This is just a minus 4, so I'm going to add 4. Add 4. 4 minus 4 eliminates. So I have 7q equal to now 14. 10 plus 4 is 14. And then getting rid of this 7, they're touching, it's multiplied. The opposite is, oopsies, I did not mean to erase that. The opposite of multiply is divide, so I'm going to divide by 7 on both sides. 7 over 7 is just 1q or q. 7 goes into 14 2 times. So I have q equals 2. If you want to double check it, you have 7 times q, which is 2, minus 4 equal to 10, which is 14 minus 4. 14 minus 4 is 10. So yes, it worked. I'm just checking my work. Alright, next, it looks tricky with the division there, the fraction. It's really not that bad. We can't get rid of division yet, we just need to get rid of our adding and subtracting. So add 6 on both sides. We want our variables here and our numbers here. So we have y divided by negative 2 equal to, on this side we have more negatives, different signs subtract. 11 take away 6 should give us a negative 5. And then last, the opposite of this Division here would be multiplication. So we're multiplying by that number, -2 times -2. I'm running out of space. 2 over 2 is just 1. So we have 1y, or just y. And then a -2 times a -5 makes a positive 10. All right, this last one is yours to try. Go ahead, draw your line down. Whatever you do to one side, do to the other. And then click play and check your work. So first, adding 2. To get rid of just our adding and subtracting first here. Remember, we can't move that 3, it's multiplied. So 4 plus 2 is 6. We have 36 equal to a -3x. And then last, the opposite of multiply is divide. So we're dividing by this whole number, -3. 3 over 3 eliminates, so we just have x. We know it's going to be a negative. Now, some of you might know this, some of you might not. You can plug it in your calculator if you need to. Well, 3 goes into 6 2 times, and 3 goes into 3, or 30, 10 times, so we get -12. If you have questions, please let me know. Otherwise, your homework today is practicing two-step equations. The answers are at the bottom. There are a couple word problems on the back. Set them up just like we did in our word problem.